This is a Pontiac Aztek. When the Aztek came out back in 2000, it was considered one of the strangest, most bizarre, weirdest, and pretty vehicles ever manufactured by General Motors. Today, more than 15 years later, I'm starting to think it's kind of pretty. This particular Aztek is a 2005 model from the car's final model year, and today I've borrowed it from a viewer here in Pennsylvania to give you a glimpse into Aztek life. First, I'm going to give you a thorough tour of the Aztek and show you all of its quirks, and then I'm going to get it out on the road and tell you how it drives. And finally, I'm going to give it a Doug score. But first, a little overview of the Aztek. The Aztek was sold for 5 years, from 2001 to 2005, at a time when General Motors was desperately trying to convince people that they were cool and hip, even though they had spent the last decade making cars from 5 different brands that looked identical. Every Aztek had an 85 horsepower 3.4-liter V6, which was considered underpowered even at the time, and of course, every Aztek had the same shape, which was considered to be tremendously ugly by every car magazine, every newspaper, every human with eyes. The prettiest was the 2001 model year. The entire bottom half of the car was taken up with gray plastic cladding, and they had 3-spoke wheel options. 3-spoke hubcaps for the base model, or for the upscale one, 3-spoke alloys. It wasn't pretty. Pontiac did away with the cladding and those stupid wheels after the first year, but it was too late. The damage was done. The Aztek was already branded weird and unattractive. The Aztek started at $22,000 back in 2001 and had a huge price cut the next year in order to try and get more people to buy it, but that didn't really work. Fun fact, the Aztek had a luxury version. It was called the Buick Rendezvous, and while it didn't share the same weird styling, it did have the same platform, the same architecture, and the same powertrain. Anyway, on to the quirks and features. I'm going to start with maybe the strangest quirk of this car, and that would be its name. That's AZTEK. AZTEC. The AZTEC Aztek was the ancient civilization. The car has a K, like killer whale or knife point. Now, when I did my Doug car competition, you people recommended cars for me, more people spelled Aztek wrong than right when they were recommending it. And I know on the comments, everybody's going to spell it with a C and think they're funny, but just going forward, Aztek is spelled with a K. Also, Camaro, C-A-M-A-R-O. C-A-M-E-R-O, since we're doing car spelling. Now, the Aztek is all about versatility, and so I'm going to start back here in maybe the most versatile part. To open the back, it's split. You open this bit first, it comes up, and then you open the bottom part. Now check out the bottom part. You put it down, and there are 2 seats back here. It's a bench, so you can just hang out on your Aztek and sit here. Some of them had a radio speakers back here, so you can even listen to music. And there are even cup holders in the tailgate, so you can just sit here and hang out and tailgate in your Aztek. You think a bench in the tailgate is cool? Well, check out this. This just looks like a normal center console and center control stack to you, doesn't it? Well, you're wrong, because right here, there's a cooler. When it's in place, it's just part of the center console, but you can pull it out and actually use it to store drinks. And take a look inside. Now, on the outside of the cooler, it says AZTEK, AZTEC on the top, and it even has the Pontiac logo printed over here on the side. Show up with a college football tailgate with an Aztek cooler, and you're instantly the coolest person there. Now, when you open it up, you will notice that it's actually pretty big, and according to the owner, it does a pretty good job of keeping drinks cool, like a cooler should. And if you don't want to use it as a cooler, inside it's more versatile than that. It has CD storage, various CD slots, and it even has coin storage. General Motors was thinking when they made this cooler. Okay, so I'm back inside the car. I'm done with my cooler. I've put it back in the center console, and you remember that Pontiac logo I mentioned? Well, check this out. That logo locks the cooler into place in the center console. Admit it, that's sort of interesting. But while a rear bench in the tailgate is cool and a cooler in the middle is cool, nothing says versatile like a tent. Yes, that's right, the Aztek came with an optional tent. And